Colleen Clickenbeard, and you're watching Shaft TV.
I think I remember that. Okay, I started when I was 9 years old. I hate that noise. And seriously, like, it's all over YouTube now. So I went to this one convention where everybody just did it on purpose because I told them I hated it. Like, every time I'd say anything, they'd be like, shut your mouth! I was so pissed. Okay, what was the other one?
If this is not your continuing profession, what would you like to do?
Okay, I really do hope that this is my continuing profession. If not, I've thought of any things like the president, master assassin, something like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know.
I want to talk about Speedgrapher. I did Stewie Tangle last year as a cosplay. What got you into Speedgrapher, and how'd you start? What's your favorite scene from Speedgrapher?
It's very interesting. Speedgrapher is a show that I love dearly. Like I said, that was kind of the close for a year of nothing but villains for me. One of the things that was exciting for the studio is that Chris Bevins, who was the director, loves Fumofu. And if you notice, the character of Fumofu looks a lot like a younger version of Choji Suitengu. In Japan, it was voiced by the same Seiyuu, who voiced Haishimizu. And he said, based on that alone, I need to call Chris in for an audition. So they called me in for an audition, and I actually auditioned for a couple of things. And I didn't realize this. So when he called me and told me he had cast me, he said, it's a role that you've got a special connection to. For those of you who've seen it, I thought I was going to be the Rubber Man. Because he's a dancer and I'm a choreographer. So I thought, oh wow, cool, I'm the crazy guy that stretches for a mile. And no, he said, no, you're not playing that. You're the lead villain. And I was like, what connection do I have to dance? And he explained the voice actor connection. The interesting thing about Speedgrapher is that I was not allowed to know what was coming. I was one of the only actors in the series, and that happened with Gantz also. Both directors said, please do not do any research on this show. For two different reasons. Matt Greenfield wanted Kay's reactions to be absolutely spontaneous. He didn't know what he was getting into because I'm a gore hound. I love horror movies. So while all the other actors were like, I was like, sweet. That's not what I had in mind, Chris. But here's the thing. And for those of you who've seen Speedgrapher, and this is the reason Chris didn't want me to know anything about it. There comes a point where you find out Suitengu's backstory. And I've had a lot of people write to me after seeing that episode and say, oh my God, I didn't realize he's the hero. He's not. That is his past. That is what made him the monster that he is. Yes, it may make him a little more sympathetic, but it doesn't change who he is from the moment you meet him. And a lot of actors, if they know a backstory like that, will be tempted to try to play. As an actor, you want to go, you want to have all of these things to reach for. And a lot of actors will be tempted to play for more sympathy. And he's not a sympathetic character. He's a monster. He's a cruel, shark. I compare him to a shark. He is relentless. He has one goal. And that is the only thing that matters. As far as favorite scenes, it's really weird. He's got some incredible scenes. My two favorite scenes, I can't say because I'm sure not everyone has seen it. There is one scene where he finds someone very special and falls apart. That scene was a lot of fun because we only did that in 2 takes. I'll explain that in a minute. But really, the favorite scene for me, even though there's not much dialogue, is his last scene. Because it's just him and Sujito. And you see how close they are. As close as, say, brothers. And the fact that I had this incredible scene, and it was with my own brother, and it was on a show that we both loved, made that incredibly special for me. And so that's up there. The reason the falling apart scene is one of my favorites is that we did it, and in fact, Doug and I were talking about this. By the end of that scene, because it's a long scene, he's just his heart is just pouring out. By the end of it, I was holding on to both sides of the booth, my head is down, and Chris Bevins, who's normally goes, okay, let's do that again. He's like, wow, are you okay? Do you need a break? And what had happened was because of the breathing, I was almost hyperventilating. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine. And he thought I was sobbing in the booth. And I'm like, do we need to go again? He's like, yeah, can we make the breathing a little more ragged at this moment? And we talked later, then he realized that's why you can't completely fall apart. If I were really falling apart and wailing and crying, I can't watch those visual cues that I need to get the performance that I want. If it were stage, yes, I would have to fall apart and the waterworks and whatnot. But in order for me to, as an actor, to get a performance that is its strongest, you have to have some sense of control and be able to keep enough distance. You have to be there enough to make it real, but have enough distance to be able to still take your cues from the animation, if that makes sense. I cry more as a director. For anybody who has seen the final volume of Xenosaga the animation, oh my God, I cried like a baby all the way through the recording, all the way through most of that last disc, especially the final episode. The final volume of Naruma Daikon Brothers made me cry 3 times. Yes. As funny as that show is, there's a lot of pathos. Yeah. Magicano even got me a little, let's see, but I cry at like Hallmark card commercials. I'm a big softie. I'm a real big softie. Another question?